It's 9 p.m. in RT. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have Chinese embassy hosts a party celebrating Chinese New Year's 2020. For the international scene, Haftar left Moscow without signing the ceasefire agreement in Libya. Welcome to our newsroom. The United Nations Security Council held an open debate on Thursday on respect for the United Nations Charters, with the speaker stressing the values ensuring in the Texas and heightening tensions in the Middle East to launch the debate. On 50th member councils issue a statement reaffirming its commitment to the Charter of the United Nations, including the purpose and principles of the charters and an international order based on international law. The presidential statement of the Council urged all member states to comply fully with the UN charters and recognized the crucial importance of the charters for the maintenance of international peace and security. Briefing the Council, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres deplored the fact that this year began with the new turbulence and long-standing suffering, and that geopolitical tensions had reached dangerous levels, most recently in the Gulf. He said that the Security Council under the UN Charters has the primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security, and that the United Nations Charter remains the shared global framework for international cooperation for the common good. The Chinese embassy in Djibouti organized last night in the palace a big ceremony to celebrate the Spring Festival, the Chinese New Year, which falls this year on January 25. Chinese from all over the world will celebrate Chinese New Year, the years of the rate. The rate ranks first among the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac. In the Chinese New Year's ceremony took place in two stages. In the first place, the Chinese ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Zhou Ruichang, received the guests in the palace banqueting hall, where present Djiboutian officials, including senior foreign affairs officials, foreign diplomat accredited to Djibouti, representative of the United Nations system, senior foreign officers based in Djibouti, and numerous guests. The Chinese ambassador welcomed all the guests. Afterward, a second event took place with the presentations of the Chinese performance of the artists Zhenjiang Wu Opera Troupe. The province birthplace of the Chinese enjoyed the wonder shows with perfect artistic mastery. The Chinese artists transmitted by joy, the joy offered by Chinese New Year to all the guests present. The ambassador of China to Djibouti, Zhou Ruichang, took the floors to welcome all the guests present at the Chinese New Year ceremony, which was held in Djibouti on 1 year. Also marks the 7th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Listen to the report.
Tonight, it is great joy that I welcome you here in such large numbers to the People's Palace for a cultural and artistic evening celebrating the Spring Festival, the Chinese New Year, which falls this year on January 25. I will therefore like to take this opportunity to wish you a happy new year. May this new year be a year of the realization of all your projects. This year, 2019, also marked the 14th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Djibouti. In April 2019, the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, traveled to China for the Second Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. his third trip to China in 3 consecutive years. This is a perfect illustration of the strategic importance of China-Djibouti relations. In the past year, bilateral trade exchanges have continued to move along a fast track. Major cooperation projects such as the Djibouti and Addis Ababa Railway, the DMP port, and the International Free Zone continue to make further progress. It was still in 2019 that Africa's first Luban workshop was inaugurated in Djibouti. Young Djiboutians thus have before them new opportunities for technical and vocational training. In 2020, China will definitely eradicate absolute poverty on its territory and achieve its first centenary goal.
The ambassador of China to Djibouti tells us more for the New Year's marked by the celebrations of the 40th anniversaries of establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Djibouti. The visit of the President Guelleh to China. Listen to the report.
The year 2020 will also be an important year for China-Djibouti cooperation. At the beginning of this year, Chinese State Consul and Foreign Minister Wang Yi made a very successful official visit to Djibouti. The visit was an opportunity for China and Djibouti to affirm their shared commitment in advancing their strategic partnership and to jointly implement cooperation projects for the great benefits of the people of Djibouti, including the 500 social housing units, the Tadjoura Hospital, and etc. The year 2020 marks the 20th anniversary of the creation of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC, and this year, which will be a crucial year for the implementation of the achievements, the Beijing FOCAC Summit. China will work more closely with Djibouti and other African countries to further deepen their mutually beneficial cooperation on all fronts. Tonight, artists from the Wu Opera troupe from Zhejiang, which is my home province, have made a special trip to Djibouti to offer us, I am sure, a marvelous show. The perfect of our artists will leave a beautiful and deep impression on us, in that the joy offered by the Chinese New Year can be transmitted to all of us. In conclusion, I once again wish our own country and people a year of prosperity, a year of success for Sino-Djiboutian cooperation, and a year of health and happiness to all of you.
The municipality of Balbala hosted yesterday the ceremony to launch the inter-neighborhood cleanliness contest in the 3 municipalities. This contest, initiated by the city of Djibouti, is organized for the neighborhoods councils to test the dynamism to raise awareness among the population to the fight against insalubrity, respect for the cleanliness standards, discharges of wastewater, garbage, cans and waste on the public roads to clean up their quarter. The aim of the competition is to promote social cohesion and citizenship and will help to restore the reputations of cleanliness in the different neighborhoods of the capital. This important ceremony was attended by the mayor of the city, the deputy mayor, and the president of the municipality, the deputy director general of the OVD, numerous parliamentarians, the president of civil society, the local elected representative, and the different presidents of the neighborhoods councils. The mayor of city, Fatma Wali Osman, in her opening remarks, thanked the head of the OVD, the local elected official, the president of the civil society, and the parliamentarian who enhanced the ceremony by their participation. She recalled that the mandate is based on the beautifications of the city and that many initiatives have been undertaken, but much remains to be done. She affirmed that the cleanliness contest is important for the city of Djibouti in several respects because it will make it possible to put in competition the various neighborhood councils in order to operationalize them through citizen action. In the mornings of Mondays, a ceremony of awarding certificate took place at the Joint Military Academy of Arta. The ceremony was presided over Colonel Mohammed Ali Olsiya, Director General of the Army, General Directors of AMIA, the acting colonels of FFDG, Mr. Marget, the acting prefect of Arta, Mohammed Ahmed Fouzi, the president of Regional Council Almi Bouh, the mediators of the Artas region. Colonel Marget recommended the office commanders of the 5 realms French army forces. The certificate was awarded to 46 students officers who successfully completed the training course of Arta Place Training Center. After the presentations of the troop, the Director General of Army took the floor to thank the 5th DG and the 5th Realms for their contributions to the trainings of Army cadet. The parade were then presented to the winners or by the guest speakers. All participants and winners were invited to a drink. The General Director of AMIA, Mohammed Ali Obsiye, took the floor to thank the FFDG and the 5 realm for their contributions to the trainings of the AMIA cadets. The Youth Directorate of Secretary of State for Youth and Sports organized this morning at the CDC of District 3 a training workshop for facilitators and volunteers from different CDC in the capital, delivered by the Director Ms. Nim'a Farah and Ms. Fatuma Nuhu of the Youth Department. The training focused on mental health and psychological support during general emergency interventions, risk factors, and preventions on types of mental health disorder. This training, which will last 2 days for facilitator and then 2 more for directors, is part of the new Secretary of State for Youth and Sport policy that promote the training, designs, and evaluations of workshops aimed at developing preventive behavior among staff. As part of the School Sport Championship 2019-2020 season in the middle school stage, gymnasiums of the Djibouti High School hosted this Saturday's tournament of handball for college in the city of Djibouti. In this collective event, 5 teams from all colleges, boys and girls of the capital, compete Saturday afternoons in the group phase in handball. The results were commensurate, and the matches and the performance that the different teams delivered in handball. The college boys played against each other in Fukuzawa, while the CDF boys won the Dogle on the score of 6-3. In girls, Dogle colleges defeated CM of Hodan 3 by scores of 1-0 after the draw between CDF and Fukuzawa. On this occasion, is the director of the public education, Lula Ali Elabe, accompanied with inspectors, organizer, kick off the training championship. On this occasion, the director of public education is Miss Lula Ali Elabe, accompanied with the inspectors as well as the organizers of the school. So championship kicked off also to provide the smooth running of the school sport championship at the Djibouti State High School. The Women's Sports and Training Center is hosted on open days on Saturday afternoons at the neighborhood 7 near the Road 2. They made these days an open door for the Djiboutian women to get to know better this sports and training complex for women and to strengthen the sports activity of the Djiboutian women. The director of the center, Fatuma Jamatu Kale, the other employees of the complex were present. It should be recalled that this sports and the training center under the supervision of the UNFD and Social Speedily for Women was inaugurated on 13 April 2019, since only for women and boys under 15 years old who can benefit. This complex has a swimming pool, large sports hall, football, basketball, tennis, hairdresser, kitchens, and a playground for children. A team presented a skit, women's exhibit crafts, and present natural cosmetics and natural juice. Following the death of the late Hussein Roble yesterday morning at Mulud, in Mulud, the Dakhel region, the Secretary of State for Decentralization, Hamadou Mohamed Al-Ramis, sends his deepest condolences to the families of the deceased and prays to God to welcome him in his eternal paradise. Amen. For the international scene, the strong man from eastern Libya, Khalifa Haftar, left Moscow without signing the truce initialed by his rivals. Listen to this report.
Man from eastern Libya, Khalifa Haftar, left Moscow without signing the truce initiated by the rival, Russian diplomacy said Tuesday, January 14. Marshal Haftar had asked on the evening of January 13 for a period of reflection until Tuesday morning before signing the formal ceasefire agreement accepted by his rival, Faiz al-Sarraj. But he finally left Moscow without signing the document negotiated under the aegis of Ankara and Moscow. The spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry said the talks involved delegations from both sides and were headed by the Lavrov and Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, as well as their Turkish counterparts Mevlut Cavusoglu.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.